Klitschko, and Dr. Iron Fist, Vitaly Klitschko, Shannon the Cannon Briggs, and Butterbean, Cruiserweight King Jai Opataya.
Boxing King Media, delighted to be joined by the one and only Al Siesta this morning. A lot of big things happening in boxing. I think you've got some news for the boxing fans, and boxing is such an amazing space right now, and I think you're about to add more to it, Al.
Brother, first of all, a passionate salam from London. How are you?
I'm
You
good.
okay?
Islam.
Yeah. Listen, absolutely. Just started something very interesting from 1st of February, got a big international assignment, and very pleased to announce IBA Pro, a new concept, new league, new platform. Everyone is welcome, and it's fantastic for boxing. We will expand on it later, but yes, delighted. IBA Pro worldwide, very interesting. Been assigned as the CEO, faced lots of challenges to explain people how professional boxing works, because as you know, IBA is also a big governing body for amateur boxing. So the Wing IBA Pro is completely independent to the amateurs. It's a completely new, brand new baby with new people, new faces, apart from obviously the lead president, who is still the same man.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to getting a bit of an insight into what your plans are, but there'll be fans watching this because I know over the years I've known you for a long time and you've been in and around boxing for years and everyone knows what you do behind the scenes, but you don't do many interviews. So just to give the fans a bit of an idea, just tell us like your core background. I know you've been a matchmaker, you know all the fighters all over Europe, you're involved with a lot of things. So just giving an insight into your credibility basically.
Brother, the reason I stopped doing media because I entered the corporate world. So I was a matchmaking agent for Matchroom Boxing and some American companies, Russians, Eastern Europeans, worked all over the world, done some great fights, had very good learning curve. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful to God to put me through this proper, consistent education from smelly dressing rooms, wrapping hands, to putting huge world championship fights in the big arenas. And basically, the joke is going that there's no labyrinth, there's no corridor in the boxing world where I haven't been with my touch. And that's a beautiful education for me, and I'm honored. So for those who don't know me, matchmaker, manager, promoter, and boxing connoisseur, love the game, obsessed about the game, and very delighted that finally I have a span in life where I landed myself at the right time in the right place with the right people. Brilliant. So that's a little resume. And the reason why I stopped doing interviews, because I worked with Boxer, as you know, as an international director of boxing. Then I worked with GBM and worked more in the background as a kind of key person of overlooking matchmaking and some strategic decisions. Yeah. So, and it was a great education for me to work in the corporate world because I always was a lone wolf to myself, freelance, working with everyone. And now I'm in charge as a CEO, as a lead promoter. And the beauty of this, I have been in every role. So I know every single position inside out.
That is it. I feel like if I was a president, I'd be like, right, yeah, I need someone like that. Somebody that's actually been there at the bottom where you're doing the negotiations. You bring in a fighter from like, Middle of Eastern Europe to the UK. You've done the negotiations to make that fight happen. You know about the medicals, all the things that need to happen to make something like that happen. So serious credentials, and that's why you've been trusted with the CEO position with the IBA. And then the IBA, like you said there, they are an amateur governing body. So what's, the person who's set up IBA, what's his vision for coming to the pro game?
Yes. So the person who set up IBA, his name is Umar Kremlov. He is a visionary philanthropist and just genuinely obsessed about boxing. I can tell you honestly, I have not seen, probably people say Turkey Al Sheikh is obsessed about boxing. I don't know Umar just on the next level. Listen, the amount of personal investments and travels that man made when he's been setting up IBA. He paid all the previous debts that AIBA at the time had with an Olympic committee. So the guy's vision is, I'll explain you very quickly. I was in Dubai in December and I just helped with media. And I saw him looking at me and observing, thinking, I know our Siesta because we met a long time ago, but our path never properly crossed. And then I had a call from him saying, could you come to Russia? Could you fly to Moscow? I said, when? Tomorrow. I want to talk to you. I said, I can't do it tomorrow. I can do it day after tomorrow. He goes, I get you a flight, come over. I've landed. I had the message 6 o'clock in the morning to come to his office. I came midday and he said, Al, I've seen you working. I want you to lead a professional boxing wing, which is completely independent, IBA Pro. If we can register that, the idea is we will register that with BoxRec. We will start working and the platform will progress. Anyone can participate, especially those, if, for example, high-profile fighters are scared to damage their record. Say, for example, Callum Simpson or Ben Whittaker or someone like that. We can have some great fights on the IBA Pro platform, which is on BoxRec registered without threatening to the pro record. But if you do want to have a pro fight that goes on the pro record, you're also welcome within the IBA Pro system. And it's a brilliant opportunity for you and I, as the fighters, to measure up to each other right now and see how good we are and what we need to work on. Great for promoter, great for training camp, great for media. And as a businessman, when I'm investing into the fighter, I want to see where he is, rather than put 20 fights, journeyman on small hole, to see him falling down on his face one day when he fights someone good. And then I'm thinking, wow, that's 2-3 years of my investment just gone down the drain. It's wonderful concept. Plus, we kind of modeled ourselves on UFC. If we're doing this platform, might as well to have a championship belt, might as well to have a governing body alongside, an equivalent of WBA, WBC, and so on and so forth, who knows our ethos, knows our rules, and they can overlook the process so all the guidelines are met. And this is very important. Honestly, it's so exciting. The Blitz tournaments, the world champion in the day, when 8 contenders starting. And for example, I won't say the kind of trade secrets, but we've got so many incentives, including open scorings and stuff like that, and different way of officiating. It's extremely exciting. Bookmakers are going crazy. When I put that concept in front of the bookmakers, they said, where are we signing?
Okay, that's quite an
50-50,
interesting
bro.
concept. So just as an example, you could have, say, Tyson Fury is coming back, but he wants to feel what it's like to get back in the ring because he's not fought for a long time. And you might have an elite amateur who doesn't want to affect his amateur record. They could fight
Correct.
in the mid, they could fight in the middle. But this
Correct.
will be sanctioned, a proper fight. It will not go on Tyson's pro record and it won't go on his amateur record.
Correct. And an IBA Pro. It's a pro fight, pro gloves, pro rules, pro weight, pro commission, British Boxing Board of Control, but it's an opportunity. And for commercial value, amazing. Tyson Fury against Jalolov. Do you understand? You suddenly see this fight out of blue. Wait.
So it reminds me a bit of that World Super Series, but that was like full on amateur.
Correct.
But now you got two sides crossing paths, basically.
Correct. Like, for example, I set you an example. So very recently in Brest, I had a professional fighter who is 1-0. But in amateurs, he's dual European champion, Belarusian guy, and a world champion. He fought against the Belgian professional champion who was 14-0 and put him down with a body shot 5 times during the fight. 1-0 against 14-0. Yes, the Lee Engelrest, that's the name of the Belgium, stood all 10 rounds. But how good was the amateur kid? And you see, I've been told when I speak to my board of directors and the sporting directors say, Al, you can't imagine. Those people like Pat McCormack, Ben Whittaker, Imam Khataev, and so on and so forth, even Artur Beterbiev or when they just came into pro game, they would have nullified most of the top 15 of every governing body then, not now, then. So you need to see the levels of the people. Don't wait for years and try to navigate them through and all this. Do you understand? You see how good they are now and let them to excel and experience the media for their talent, because we only got one life.
So
you see?
So are you going to be signing amateurs and pros? Like, are you going to be
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And
It will be a
worldwide?
pro. Yeah, it's a stunning concept, and I'm welcoming every single promoter to this party. It's fantastic
And
because
where will it be televised?
right, okay, because I have financial support. So my sponsors are the company called Rolf, is one of the biggest Middle Eastern and Eastern European car dealers. They're in Dubai, they're Armenia, Georgia, Russia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. They probably do more second-hand cars than anyone in the world. Huge. So this is one sponsor. I've got 3 bookmaking companies international that back in this project. And can you see me?
Yeah.
Can you see me? All right.
Yeah.
So and that is enough for me to sustain at the moment without the broadcasting deal whilst we're building the concept, because we've got investment money. Once I've announced it properly, once the world, especially Western world, understood what it is, then I come to the broadcaster, and the broadcaster will be overwhelmed from the beauty, clarity, and understandability of this platform. It's stunning. Honestly, it will change the game without actually affecting anything and without upsetting any other governing body. We also signed the contract of recognition with WBA. We already have made IBA Pro and WBA interim world title unification. When Argentinian guy fought against Albert Batergaziev, who is a WBA super featherweight interim champion and an Olympic champion in Tokyo.
Wow. When and where is the first event?
I'm already into my 6th event.
I mean, like from this moment.
Yeah, but listen, that's why I'm here in the UK, because I was test driving the concept. When I arrived on the scene, they had amateur weight classes. I said, guys, it doesn't work like this. We're going to full pro weights so we can collaborate with all the governing bodies. We're going to work with the local commissions like British Board, the EBU. You understand what I'm saying? All guidelines properly, so everyone has benefit from our platform. They said, Al, that's why you're here. You know the game, let's go. I've test driven it. It's fantastic. Brilliant. So I'm on the 6th event. Like I've got Olympic guy, bronze Olympic heavyweight champion, medalist, Davlat Baltaev fighting in Tajikistan against an Uzbek Olympian. I've got WBA gold title. So it's a nice mixture, but it's a pro boxing. It's a wonderful thing.
How many rounds?
Same. I tell you, so in terms of titles, the biggest title is IBA Pro World Champion. Second in command is IBA Pro Intercontinental. And then we've got normal European, African,
so
Australasian.
For the fighters, they're basically a champion of that middle world. Yeah.
So they are. I tell you what they are. Most of them will beat many. The beauty of this is an elite of amateur elite from Philippines, Latin America, Eastern Europe. I will work with the UK and everything. You know what's going on, World Boxing and Olympic Committee, whatever. We will cross that path later. Look, the levels are stupendous. So it's so exciting, honestly. So listen to this.
I love the concept that the money is going to be the big thing for fighters to put their O's on the line, even though it's not like their pro O, but reputation is big, because if, like, say a big name gets knocked out in that league, then they come back with maybe less in the pro game. So what they're getting.
But that's what we want to eliminate. UFC. How can you be a proper warrior? How can you be a proper fighter without having education of a loss? How? What are we learning on? Our mistakes, isn't it? So that's what we want to eliminate. The fakeness, the artificial glorification of a zero. It shouldn't be there. You learn in life,
How will you compete with the Riyadh season concept? Because at the minute they're getting the best to fight the best, but they're paying them large amounts. So will you compete with them kind of numbers?
But I know personally what's going on, because Turkey, he needs to do this because he's got big agenda, Riyadh 2030. He needs to glorify the country. He needs to show the world that Saudi is welcoming everyone. His agenda is different. Our agenda is fully boxing based. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? A longevity boxing concept where hopefully IBA Pro will arrive as a platform and people will be embracing. And let me tell you this, if you are an IBA Pro European champion, you are a real deal. The beauty of this, imagine the commercial thing. Oh, the EBU champion pro against IBA Pro European champion. Do you understand? So the very soon, within 2, 3, 4 years, we'll see the levels. We'll see who's really got the talent, who's got the flair, and who's stable is actually more serious in terms of fightship. It's wonderful. It's
And I'm
wonderful.
guessing none of the fighters will be tied down to you. They can still jump back with, like, you could have a matchroom fighter fighting on your show. Then they
Absolutely, absolutely. Obviously, they will be within the IBA Pro concept. Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
So this, like UFC.
Right.
So very exciting, man. Very exciting. And another thing, we, for the first time, we will objectify. We will make an objectivity in the ratings. You will have proper objectives. How can I, as a fighter, with my zeros, turning pro to become a world champion? You will have entire reglement, entire bulletin of what you need to do, what you need to win. A bit like football. What do I need to
Like
do
a
to
league,
become
isn't it? It's like different.
yeah. What do I need to do to become a Premier League champion? Just
Yeah.
beat everyone. Beat everyone. That's all.
So you've got your own league. They've got their own pro league, and they've got the amateur league. I love the concept, and I think genuinely this sounds incredible for boxing fans.
How exciting as well, because we also work with pros very closely. We are allowing things to cross path. For example, recently I've made the offer. Albert Batergaziev, Olympic champion and the WBA interim champion. I said, let's work together, guys. I just made an offer to Jazza Dickens to fight for the WBA interim and IBA Pro. So I'm waiting for their reply. I've made lots of offers. I've got lots of ideas. Soufiane Oumicha, French dual Olympic silver medalist and the world champion, Zelfa Barrett, for example. Beautiful fights, man. Immediately, now, bang, 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 they're there. IBA Pro, excited. Any broadcaster thinking, wow, I don't need to beg anybody. He's actually right there and there's no threat to their career. And they can really measure up and we can have commercial value from it. No brainer. No brainer. Wonderful.
I think your phone's gonna be hot, Al. I think a lot of fighters who are inactive, not getting fights, the ones that
Correct.
can't sell tickets, because I'm guessing you don't need to sell tickets for this kind of concept because it's all funded.
Correct, absolutely. And also, the concept is a bit like UFC. As it becomes more popular, the concept will be selling tickets.
Yes, I love it.
And because people will know it's 50-50. Oh, I'm selling tickets, but my opponent is too strong, and my parents and my fiance is in the crowd. I need a journeyman. I'm scared to fight this guy. What if I'm going to get knocked out? That's over for me. Completely opposite to that. Come if you're a real fighter. We'll do the ticket sales. We'll do your media. We'll do all the work for you. All you need to do, just make sure you stay active, turn up, and showcase your talent. You know?
Amazing, Al. Well, I look forward to catching you in person to do get some more information about this. But I think you've given us a really good, short, simple breakdown of what's about to happen. I think boxing's about to be given a massive kick up the backside again. When is the next event?
And brother, next event is exactly in 10 days. At the moment, I've been test driving the concept. So I've been to nearby countries, easily accessible. Okay. All the ex-Soviet Union, like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Russia, Serbia. Yeah. So now, as I'm announcing this in the Western world, I'm thinking about UK, France. Luxembourg made me an offer. Luxembourg made me an offer already as a site. Saint-Tropez made me an offer as a site. So it's incredible. America, Miami made me an offer. Americans saying, let's go 7v7, Russia vs USA. So listen, there's some, or Britain against the rest of the world. 6 against 6. It's just stupid, honestly. It's just an open canvas. Yeah. It's an open, it's incredible. And this is the concept. So tell me, do you like it?
I love it. I'll be honest. I didn't know.
There you go. There you go.
I love that concept.
Whoever I speak to, listen, the rules are incredible. The anti-clinching, anti-spoiling, anti-everything, anti-low blowing, anti-rabbit punching. Immediately, you get want in the dressing room that there's no mercy from the referee. If you've done it once, you might pass it. Twice, the points deducted. Do you know what I mean? It's very
lots of good fighters that are waiting around, can't get deals because they don't sell tickets. I
There
will
you go.
I will put them your way.
There you go, bro. Fantastic, man.
Okay.
Welcoming.
It's a pleasure speaking to you, Al, and I look forward to catching you up very soon.
Likewise, brother. Thank you ever so much, man. Good
All the
luck, man.
best.
Thank you.